Hi, I'm Alvaro Henrique, and we are back with this marvelous study by Matteo Carcassi. This is one of my favorite of his 25 studies, Opus 60, 25 melodic studies. And this indeed is a study about melody. More than that, is a study about melodies on the plural. The whole piece, we have two melodies in which most of the time one is the soloist, the other is the accompaniment. They change roles, but there are a few parts where there is a clear counterpoint with them. So the very first thing that you should bear in mind to play them well is play them separately and paying extra attention to allowing them to sound as long as they are written. And that means not only sustaining the long notes, but also damping the notes properly when there is a rest for them. It means that in the left hand, you should be able to keep your fingers as long as possible holding a note and changing to the next one very fast. Like it means also for the right hand that you cannot arrive earlier, because if you arrive earlier on the string, you are damping the string, so the sound dies earlier. However, especially when the accompaniment melody is on the bass, it may be tempting to hold the notes longer in order to make the harmony more clear or more interesting. However, if you do so, you are sacrificing the melody. So, especially because this is a study, so it's a piece, so you can develop a new skill. I would recommend you to at least once, for the study's sake, to really temp properly when it's supposed. For example, in the second part, and then you damp the A. And then you damp the G on the bass. So exactly as written. At least once, for study's sake, so you are developing a new skill. Then, if you think that it's better to your ears holding them a little bit longer, then it's your artistic freedom. But do not confuse one from another. You should be able to develop this new skill, and then if you find another option that sounds more interesting to you, feel free to play this other way. But you shouldn't choose at first this other way just because you aren't able to play the story as written, or because you don't need to make this extra effort to reach that skill. So that's what I recommend you to study holding the notes as long as they are written, and not more than that. There's also an interesting thing that if you look very fast to the score, the melody will have 18th notes throughout the piece, without any written variation, with not by 1 or 2 measures. So when you face this kind of situation, it's best to shape the melodies according to the direction of the melody. So when the melody goes up, you join those notes as if they were a word, and when they change directions, you make a small separation as if a new word is about to begin. And don't mind how many syllables, how many letters will be in each word, because just like in our verbal communication, we have words with just one letter. It's not a problem if you have a musical word with just one note. But being able to shape according to the melody direction, you also will find a more free and interesting way to play the melody, because as you can notice, those changes of directions very seldom follow the rhythm of the measure. So it's a way for the composer to escape the jail of the beat, of the measure. And this is one of the reasons that this study sounds so well, and you are playing this piece by Carcassi instead of another piece by another composer, which the changes of direction are always together with the measure and the beat. So it would sound something like that. I'm playing the beginning of the piece. Bem separado. You see that by making those small separations when they change direction and not following the beat, there is a more interesting rhythm, the 19th century swing. So this is most of what this piece is about, playing each melody alone. You are able to do so by yourself at this moment. You should be able, this piece, you should be studying that after 3 years of guitar playing, so you can do that at your level. Mark the changes of direction so it makes more clear for you when you should shape the melody as well, shape the phrasing of the melody together, and keep the notes as long as they should and as short as they should as well. The end, we have our interesting cliché. They have Carcassi features here are changing in mode. It's C major. And in C major, the subdominant should be also a major chord, the F major. However, he used the F minor, a change of mode. It's interesting for you to mark that change. You should mark that with a difference in color. But you can also make a difference by plucking a little bit louder only the A flat. You can do so by putting a little bit down the finger that will pluck the A flat, because it will push the string a little bit more down than the other fingers. That string will vibrate a little bit longer and with more energy, therefore that note will sound a little bit more. This is how our fellow pianists color their instrument. They make a difference on the weight of the chord, and that difference in weight, if they've put in preeminence one note of the chord over other, the color of the chord will change. So if you play something like that, it's interesting enough. Then he has a military cliché. It's part of the music of this period, a lot of military music influence. And then these last two arpeggios making a plagal cadenza, a cadenza that's more common in religious music. And then I like to make a very big difference of color and a long arpeggio. You don't need to play as long as I did, but it's some ideas so you can explore. Have fun!